Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our sing through at the end of week 2 of our summer school. It's so fantastic to see so many people here already, waiting, sat on the front row, eagerly, scores in hand, ready to sing this glorious, wonderful Russian music. We've got some amazing guests, hopefully coming along this afternoon. Hopefully, if he's not here already, we'll have Nigel joining us along with several members of Tenebrae. What an honour. And we do hope, if you're here, hello, folks. When they do arrive, everyone, they pop up in the comments. Do please say hello to all of them and thank them for their incredible contribution to this wonderful week. Hello to everyone. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the welcome. No pressure, says Brenda. Have to mime some of the pronunciation. That's fine. I'm sure they'll forgive you, Brenda, and I'm sure that we're all going to have just a wonderful time. Now, I'm going to just double check that I've got the right scores loaded in. I have already checked, but it doesn't hurt to be 100% certain. So let's just have a little bit. This is just a quick snatch of Prioditya. Here we go. Isn't that lovely? Here's Bogorodice Dievo. Lovely. Slava. And Tiebie. Fabulous. And there's that earworm altos. Oh, absolutely glorious. Oh my goodness me. I've been on Twitter, everyone. The conversations have been absolutely wonderful this week. Just seeing, first of all, how people were slightly trepidatious, I think, about this Russian week. People who'd never sung in Russian before, and I think that's entirely understandable. Justified, that if you've never sung in the language before and never sung the style, you might think, I don't know what I'm letting myself in for. But what's been wonderful is seeing how throughout the week people have been falling head over heels in love with this lovely music, to the point where yesterday several people, I think Susanna was tweeting, this really should come with a massive warning on it because it's just the most incredible earworm. I think she was referring to Let My Prayer Arise, which, yes, is an enormous earworm. It just wraps itself around your cerebral cortex and doesn't let go. It's only going to get worse, I'm afraid, as you record and as you express your own performance of these pieces. And then, of course, July 16th, we hear it all together. That's going to be an incredible occasion. Now, of course, we have another special occasion, very special one tomorrow, where we will be singing your North American pieces that we learned. So that beautiful Upon Your Heart by Eleanor Daly. We've got the wonderful piece God Will Keep Watch Over You by Leonard Enns. Of course, we also have My Lord What a Morning by Harry Burley, The Rose by Ola Yellow, and we'll be finishing tomorrow with Jake Runestad's absolutely glorious I Will Lift Mine Eyes. And you notice I've changed the order, the running order for tomorrow. We're going to finish with Jake's piece for a number of reasons. Because it is so uplifting and because it is, to my ears, the absolute pinnacle of what this choir has achieved so far. It's not to say the others aren't absolutely astonishing. They really are. But it really is going to be an occasion you will need tissues at the ready, and I suspect we're going to have to play it twice. It is so good. I said this with Messiah. You aren't ready for how good it is, ladies and gentlemen. So, a bit of a build-up, but it is worth it. You will hear it tomorrow. Please come along at 3 o'clock and just be ready to be blown away by how well you sing, by the astonishing job that Connor has done with the mix. And it does seem, from what Mark has said, we will be joined tomorrow by Eleanor, by Leonard, and by Jake, by 3 of the composers of our 5 pieces tomorrow. What an incredible honour. And of course, one of the great things about it is, as long as I've got the right files loaded, which is always the moment of truth, and that everything works when I press it, well, we know the performance is going to go well. so our composer friends can relax and enjoy your glorious performance. It's going to be amazing. Nikki says, every time you say that, I cry. Well, just imagine how I feel, Nikki, to hear these pieces come together, to hear them develop, to go back and revisit our recordings from a year ago. Remember, a year ago we were learning Quanta Qualia and the Grieg, Ave Maristella and Zadok the Priest and things like that. And those were in the days before we started recording everything. It was a very different experience, actually. We would send out the teaching. I'd had to record the teaching for the week beforehand, and you would have to send it all in before we started the week. Do you remember, those of you who were here a year ago? And then James, who was our engineer at the time, would mix it all in a matter of a couple of days and would get it together. So and so we could listen to it on the Friday afternoon. It was a very intense and very, very sort of a whirlwind experience. It was lovely, but I prefer this. I prefer us taking the time, and the last thing we want, particularly this week, is to be rushing. Sorry, so I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. We don't want to rush through it. All right, everyone. Okay, well, look, I'm going to have an opportunity now to say hello to so many of you, and I see some wonderful, very familiar faces popping up here in the comments. But first of all, to everyone who's here but isn't necessarily in the comments, a very, very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us, spending some time with us today. We're going to be singing some wonderful Russian pieces, and so I do hope you enjoy it. But those of you who are here in the comments chatting away, 19 to the dozen, which is exactly what I would hope and expect. I'm going to run down the list and see if I can get through it before it starts jumping around too much, but there are a lot of you, which is wonderful. So here we go. Good afternoon, Alison and Andrew and Anne and Barbara and Breda and Brenda and Brenda and Carol and Rob. Oh, and Andrew's just popped up, and Carol and Carolyn and Kathy and Claire and Claire and Claire and Cynthia and Claire and Carolyn and Dave and Jill and Eileen and Liz and Gillian and Gina. And someone else has just popped up again. I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, and Gloria and Heidi and Helen and Helga and Irina and Jane and Jill and John and Judith. And I see we've also got Deborah. Hello, Deborah. And as I scroll down, we've also got Julie and Karen and Gareth and Kitty and Leslie and Lisa, Michael, Marjorie, Michael, Muriel, Nikki, Rosina, Ruth, Shan, Sheila, Stephanie, Susanna, Jane, Vanessa and Wendy. And I'm just going to scan down. Hello to Bronwyn as well, and to everyone else. Hello to Anna. Hello to everyone. Thank you so much for being here. If I haven't read your name out, well, please don't take it personally. There are so many names and the list is jumping around. It is wonderful to see you all, and I do hope you're having a good day. Just a quick weather update. It is blissfully cool this afternoon. It's just started raining here after an incredibly hot start to the week. The temperature has dropped, which is wonderful. Lots of people saying, I'm going to change my name to Zebedee. Makes it easier for Ben to find a Z. Actually, it's a bit like minicabs. Okay, it's a bit like taxis. It's better if your name starts with an A because you're always at the top of the list. Okay, so you should call yourself Triple A Carol. Okay, that's... and then you'd definitely be at the top of the list. Hello to Rachel as well. Hello to everyone. Judith says, how do you get them alphabetical? That's if you click at the top at the three dots on your list, you click participants, you get an alphabetical list. And I'm going to scan down. I see that Andrea and Andreas is here. Andreas, I should say, is here. Hello to you, sir. And to Andrea and to, who else I said hello? Hello to Brenda as well. Hi, Brenda. And Claire. Hello, Colette. Hello to Genevieve and to Heidi. I'm just scanning to see, and hello to Wendy as well. And I've said hello to Rachel, but hello again, Rachel, and Marjorie and Leslie as well, and Juliet and another Jill. Wonderful to see everyone. Well, as I've said, folks, we're hoping to welcome Nigel this afternoon as well. If you are here, Nigel, please do pop up in the comments and say hello, and be prepared to be mobbed by our wonderful choristers who will just flood round and express what we're all feeling, which is a huge sense of gratitude to you and to your astonishing choir, Tenebrae. We are so honoured to be led by you and to have your incredible experience teaching us all not only how to pronounce the Russian, but also how to sing it so beautifully. I know if we hopefully will even have some lovely singers from Tenebrae. If you are one of the Tenebrae singers, please again pop up in the comments and just say hi. And I'm sure people will be extremely pleased to see you and will express that. It's one of the lovely things about online singing, everyone, is that when you're performing a concert in a face-to-face venue, you know, I've been in this situation where I've been in the choir and there's a wonderful guest soloist or a conductor or in many cases a choir, and you want to go up to them and express your thanks. But, you know, you don't want to bother them at the end of a concert and they're very busy and maybe they just disappear off to the dressing room after a lot of hard work. And in this situation, you can actually express your thanks in a way that they will read and I know they'll appreciate. And speaking as a conductor, being able to read your comments later on when the dust has settled and I can have a breather and a drink in my hand. By the way, make sure you've got your drink of water for today. And I can read through the comments at my leisure. And it really is just a lovely, lovely thing to do. So there we are. Now I see there's a couple more people just arrived. So let me just see. I don't want to miss anyone if that's at all possible. Oh, but then it's moving so quickly. Hello to Hazel. Hello to Jennifer. Hello to Sue. Hello to Anne. Hello to Maggie and to everyone who's just joined us. Jackie and Linda, hello folks, lovely to see you. Jackie, I've seen your email. I have to respond to it, but thank you ever so much. It's a lovely message to get. Thank you. Hello to Loretta from cloudy Ottawa. It's very cloudy here in Bristol as well. Hello to Judy. Wonderful. Is Atty as well. Hello, great to see you. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started in under a minute. Now please do keep the chat moving. I know I keep saying it, but there are certain choirs who shall remain nameless who don't like the chat moving. People say, can't you stop the chat? And so, no, as far as I'm concerned, this is the heart of the choir. This is where you express yourselves. This is where you show your appreciation for yourselves, for each other, for me, for our guests. So please do keep the chat moving. You have my absolute blessing. I want to see lots and lots of emojis and lots of fun from the choir. But we're going to get started. So please help me out. We're going to make the noise, everyone. You know what noise. Wonderful. And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our sing through at the end of week 2 of our summer school. And it's been a wonderful week of Russian wonders. We started on Sunday, just a few days ago, with a sing through from these tracks. And as I was just saying a few minutes ago, what's been incredibly exciting for me as the conductor of this week, as the teacher really, is to see people who were really quite honest and open about this week. They were perhaps slightly worried about it, perhaps thinking, oh, I wasn't looking forward to this one perhaps as much as the others, largely because of the worries, I think, about singing in Church Slavonic, and also because they didn't recognise the pieces. Entirely understandable. But seeing those same people throughout the week saying in comments and on Twitter and on social media just how much they are loving the pieces, and then up until recently how much they are struggling to get the music out of their heads, how much of a wonderful emotional impact the music has had. Now, a huge amount of that is down to the phenomenal performances of Tenebrae, led by our wonderful friend and colleague, Mr. Nigel Short, who hopefully is here watching this afternoon. So huge thanks to you, Nigel, for all of your hard work, for your fantastic pronunciation guides, which were incredibly useful to me and to the choir, and to all of the Tenebrae singers. We are just so honoured to have you singing for us, to have you leading us and teaching us through your wonderful example. So massive thanks to you. I also have to thank Connor Kearney and Kai as well, our wonderful engineers who put these tracks together and are working even now on mixing your tracks for tomorrow's concert, and will be mixing all of the tracks for our Russian week. So huge thanks to Connor, of course, as well. Huge thanks to Mark Cease for putting the packs together, and to Mark Strawn, of course, our dear Mark Strawn, the pillar of our choir. Now, what we're going to do this afternoon, folks, is we're going to have a very quick hum and a quick warm-up, just to bring ourselves together and form the choir, and then we will sing these pieces through in order. It will then be over to you to start recording them, and I can't wait to hear the tracks coming in and to hear them taking shape in the studio. It's going to be absolutely marvellous. So if you're happy to sing with us today, that would be wonderful if I could invite you to stand, those of you that are able to. I know that we've got some people listening in, some people watching later on, but if you're happy to stand, that's great. If you're not able to for whatever reason, and maybe you're at work listening in, pretending to work, as I'm quite fond of saying, if you sit up straight in your chair, your boss may notice and say, wonderful, excellent posture, and give you a raise. So, you're welcome in advance for that. But if we all sit up or stand up nice and tall with a lovely long neck, with our shoulders back, and take a few deep breaths in our own time, that would be wonderful. Splendid. And just completely relax. Maybe roll your shoulders around a little bit, just making sure that your shoulders are nice and relaxed, particularly for singing this music. Basses in particular, we need to be very relaxed for all of these low notes today, don't we? These, okay? And even with Jimmy Holiday's example, singing those low notes, I know there are many of you out there who are aspiring octavists. So you've been buzzing down the octave all week. Let's see how far you can get down this evening, okay? So let's bring your shoulders up to your ears, please, everyone. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders fall and completely relax. Splendid. Well done. Roll your head around. Just stretch those muscles out. Thank you, everyone. This is what Mark used to refer to as the yoga. All right. And we'll just do a little bit of gentle humming. Okay, so we're going to go up a third and down again. With me, here we go. And again. Now, ooh. Ooh. And again. Ooh. And an oh. Oh. Again. Oh. And one more. Oh. And now an F for egg. Again. And an R. Oh. One more. Oh. Lovely. Now, basses and altos drop down the octave. Everyone else with me. After me, please. Ma, ma, ma. Great. Da, da, da. And me, me, me. And ya, ya, ya. And one more. Yo, yo, yo. Splendid. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much. Now, please make sure you've got drinks of water with you to hydrate in between each of these pieces. We're going to sing them through. This isn't a concert. What we're going to be doing this afternoon is to be singing these pieces. Now, just so you know, we'll be taking the conducting from today. This will form the conducting for the conducting videos that you'll be singing along with as you record these pieces. So we have a chance to pause in between, rehydrate, relax a little bit, and make sure we're happy before we sing. Now, the first piece is by Rachmaninoff, and it is the first movement of the wonderful all-night vigil, otherwise known as the Vespers. Priidite poklonimся. This is Come, Let Us Worship. And if you'll recall, everyone, this one really calls to mind these bells, and the bells of St. Petersburg, where Rachmaninoff spent some of his youth growing up in a small flat. And he was taken often to church by his maternal grandmother, who looked after him when his father left the family. And he was absolutely obsessed with the bells and with the music of the church. And so this theme keeps coming back throughout his work. So we're going to start with this glorious call to worship. Cheers. And as I've said, we've got the incredible Tenebrae leading us. And so if I give you your notes, we're going to start with the basses, and then we'll rise to the tenors. So basses, there's your notes. Tenors, altos, and sopranos. Priidite. Enjoy, everyone. Here we go. Splendid. Well done, everyone. Such a bright, exciting bell-like piece to start our performance this afternoon. Well done. Now, the second piece in our pack is the other bit of Rachmaninoff, and this is one of our favourites. It's certainly a piece that I think many of us will have sung before. It's in a variety of anthem books that you'll find. It's Bogorodice Dievo, which is Ave Maria, Rejoice, O Virgin. And this one, this is Rachmaninoff, I think, writing, again, very orchestrally for the choir. That middle section where the altos are singing in thirds, with that beautiful melody in octaves either side, with the tenors just bumping up at the lower end of the altos notes to give you that incredible clash. Absolutely sublime. And so this one, you know, let's particularly enjoy the rise in dynamics to the middle. But remember, this one is for the most part gentle and quiet, almost like a lullaby. And so let me give you your notes, everyone. Basses, tenors, altos, and sopranos. All right, everyone, let's have fun with this one. Here we go. Bogorodice Dievo. And... Wonderful. Well done, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed singing those two wonderful bits of Rachmaninoff. If you've not sung the Vespers before, do listen to Tenebre's incredible recording of it. You can buy it on CD. Of course, it's also on the various streaming services. And there are so many lovely recordings. But the entire work, all 15 movements, absolutely sublime. In fact, the fifth movement, I do hope one day we get to do full Vespers. The fifth movement, the Nunc Dimittis, is so beautiful. Rachmaninoff asked for it at his funeral. So, it's very clear that the Vespers were very, very dear to his heart. Now, everyone, we're moving now to the midpoint of our program. This wonderful piece, Slava Otsu by Golavanov. And this was a new piece to pretty much all of us, I think, this week. And it is a piece with some more challenging harmonies and some more challenging lines to sing than perhaps some of the others. But as always, it's worth the effort. It's worth the time putting in, because although it might seem a little bit scary to begin with, I suppose it's just like skiing. When you first start out, you look at the harder runs, you think, I don't think I could ever do that. But once you manage it, you just feel that exhilaration and that passion that comes with doing it. And this is one of those pieces that I'm certain is going to sound amazing on July 16th when it's all put together. So now I'm going to give you your notes. And so basses, there is our F sharp, A for tenor 2, C sharp, and F sharp for the sopranos and altos. Let's have those notes again. All right, everyone, Slava Otsu. Have fun, everyone. And this, by the way, is the first time we get the basses going right the way down to those low notes. So make sure you're ready here, everyone. Enjoy. Here's Slava. And... I don't mind saying that piece has really, really had an impact on me this week. It's so beautiful. That ending with the major seventh on Nas and rising. Oh, goodness me. There's so many moments in that where, as I'm conducting, and I've got the tingles, ladies and gentlemen, the tingles are quite palpable. Now, this one I do appreciate is going to take a little bit more work, perhaps, than some of the others. Do note those changes in tempo. Remember, there's just a tiny increase in tempo in bar 22 and 23. Just pushes forward slightly. Just be ready for that. And at the bottom of the second page, from Din si sviati, there it pushes forward, and then Sproslavlia Yami, so it's really quite a lot faster. So listen to the track a couple of times. Just hum along and just get the sense of the tempo before you start recording, just to avoid frustration and lots of multiple takes. I think this is one perhaps to leave towards the end of your recordings, just so you've got a chance to warm your voices up. But I honestly, the thought of hundreds and hundreds of voices singing that with the clarity and attention to detail that only SIC can produce. Big choirs don't normally sound as precise as SIC does. It's going to be amazing. Now, speaking of amazing, our next piece is Ciebie Powiem by Mr. Chesnokov, the first of two pieces by Pavel Chesnokov. And this one, my goodness, we have had a lot of fun with this one this week. In terms of pitches, it is perhaps the simplest one to sing for everyone except the second basses, who have discovered new depths in their character and their voices this week by singing along with our wonderful octavist from Tenebrae, Mr. Jimmy Holiday. And just thank you for all of your amazing singing, everyone from Tenebrae. But Jimmy's voice has made a significant impact on all of us. When I've been playing it for the sopranos and the altos, well, it's definitely had an impact on them. And of course, what we have here in this choir is an amazing facility where you sing along with one voice louder in one ear. And that up until now has just been a particularly nice feature, the ability to really hear your part. But when you have Jimmy's voice singing bottom B's and bottom A's really loudly in your ear, the only way you could sing that normally would to be in Tenebrae, standing right next to him. So this really is a real privilege to have these voices. Now, this is the fully mixed version, so we're all together, all singing, and I know for a fact we've got several octavists in SIC, and so again, I'm just blown away at the thought of a wall of sound with just several people down on these really low notes. So let's sing Ciebie Powiem here and have some fun with it. So there is that low B, there's the octave above, there's second tenor, first tenor, and alto and soprano. Okay, everyone, let's have some fun with this. Here is Ciebie Powiem. Nice deep breath, and my goodness me. Just such a superb performance by Tenebrae. Thank you, everyone. And that one is going to be very, very, very special indeed. And I say that about all of them, but just imagine that wall of sound, those basses just holding those bottom Ds and singing the Bs and the As. I know that we have several basses who have already got in touch to say, I think I've got those low notes. I'm working on it. I can get down to a C. I've got a B. I've got a B flat. So do remember those buzzing exercises all the way down. The to see if we can open up those bottom notes in your range basses and give us some really lovely, rich, fruity notes. Try recording that one, as I say, as early in the morning as you dare. Apologies in advance to everyone who shares a dwelling with you, or perhaps your neighbours, or if you're lucky enough to live out in the middle of nowhere, well then record at will and just have fun with it. All right, everyone. Now, speaking of fun and beauty, our last piece in the programme is a very, very special piece. This is Let My Prayer Arise. And of course, this particular arrangement didn't exist until really only a few months ago, when Richard Gowers, that immensely talented musician who we've been working with now for over a year, arranged it for us from that lovely video that Mark saw of those 4 Russian Orthodox monks singing together. And so this is a completely unique version, and our version, when we sing it all together, will be a premiere, everyone. It'll be a public performance. I mean, technically, I know that Tenebrae have recorded the premiere, which we'll be hearing today, but I think we can say that we'll do the first large-scale performance of this work, and you won't hear it anywhere else. This is an exclusive to SIC, and once again, huge thanks to Richard for his immense talents. Not only was he a wonderful singer as a treble with his Once in Royal David City, which we heard at Christmas, albeit some years ago, he is an amazing organist, a fantastic pianist, and as we can see here, a wonderful arranger and composer. So thank you hugely, Richard, for this. Now, altos, this is your big moment to shine. Okay, I want all of you singing this one from the heart. Sopranos, of course, you have that all-important 30 and a bit bars of rest to practice. I hope you had a chance to practice them. Remember, anytime that you can, close your eyes and practice those 30 bars rest. You can practice them over and over and over again. And if anyone says, what are you doing? You can say, I'm practicing. Shh, leave me alone. Everyone else, we're providing that warm blanket of support for the altos with this just glorious piece of music, which is going to finish our sing through for today. And so do enjoy this one, everyone. We're going to have a wonderful time putting this one together for you. So those notes one more time: bass, baritone, tenor, and the altos. Have fun, everyone. Here we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a stunning rendition of a glorious arrangement of a beautiful piece. We have so much to look forward to and so much to be thankful for with this week. I think it's fair to say none of us, including Mark, who, bless you, put together the whole week, and Nigel, who worked so hard with Tenebrae, none of us, I think, could have anticipated the depth of the impact that this music would have on us, those of us who've been learning it, teaching it, and working with this music all week. It's so unbelievably moving, even at this stage, to know that there are hundreds of people now around the world who know and love this music and who will be singing it forever. And what's particularly exciting, of course, is that you'll now hopefully take this away and start recording it so that we can put it together for you, with, of course, led by the amazing Connor, so that we can hear it on July 16th, sung by you. And I can't wait to hear this all put together on July 16th. And it's going to be a very, very moving occasion. So well done, everyone. That is the official end of week 2 of the summer school. Of course, there is more to come. We're barely halfway. We have the concert tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. of the American week, with some absolutely astronomically beautiful pieces. So we've got the wonderful Upon Your Heart by Eleanor Daly. We've got Leonard N's God Who Keeps Watch Over You. We have Harry Burley's wonderful My Lord, What a Morning, which honestly, it sounds like a warm blanket on a cold day. It's just so gorgeous. The Rose by Ollie Yellow, and that wonderful rendition of Jake Kronstadt's glorious I Will Lift Mine Eyes, which you're just not ready to hear, but you're going to hear it, and just be ready to not be ready. Then, of course, on Monday this coming week, we are starting more courses. If you haven't signed up for the opera course, of course, that's being led by me, of course. And we have 5 stupendous choruses from some of the greatest operas of all time. And it is very much aimed at people who've never sung opera before. Okay, don't think you have to be an experienced opera singer at all. This is your taster of this incredible genre of music, which is as broad and as wide and as varied as any of the orchestral or choral repertoire. It is a section of music all to itself. And I promise you, if you come along, you won't feel out of your depth. You will have a huge amount of fun, and you'll learn an enormous amount about operatic singing. We also have, of course, on Monday, the wonderful Joanna Forbes Lestrange, who is just so much fun and is teaching her beautiful piece, How Do You Keep the Music Playing, with Helen Charleston singing the solo. Again, you are going to love working with her. Ladies in particular, I mean, my goodness, not to say she's not a fabulous teacher to both genders, but to ladies, you are really going to love working with Jo. She is one of the best singers in the world. and she has so much to teach. She is such a wonderful, wonderful personality. You're going to adore it. We also have more coming up. We've got the 2 more weeks, of course, of summer school. Mark's Melodies coming up next with some Messiaen and McCartney and more besides. Those of you who are interested in learning more about the dots and lines on the page and how to sight sing and how to conduct, don't forget I'm running a very special Around Sound, which is called the Singer's Toolkit, which is aimed at everybody, but particularly those of you who would like to get better perhaps at being able to read and deal with these dots and lines and shapes and swishes and so on the page. That's starting in July. You can sign up for all of these things through Self-Isolation Choir. And of course, Naughty Mark has done it again and dropped an absolutely amazingly tempting new course just yesterday, the Missa Tango. And if you haven't heard it, it's playing at the moment on Radio Choral. Just the most amazing piece of music. Really very, very, very new. Absolutely glorious and well worth singing along to as well, if you have even the slightest shred of time in your already packed schedules. But everyone, it's been a huge pleasure working with you as always this week. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock and then teaching again from Monday. So no rest for the wicked, but I hope you all have a great evening and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, have a great time. All the best, folks. Bye-bye.